Hey guys, Evacso here, welcome to the channel. So I've got 20-minute half realistic sliders. You use these sliders in kickoff games and career mode games. I've got the difficulty level on legendary, so like if you had it on world class difficulty, I know that pretty much anybody would be scoring at least 2-3 goals, even with increased marking in the CPUs. So I just really had them on legendary difficulty. That is the best difficulty for this. I didn't really try too much on ultimate difficulty. Obviously, you can only do that in career mode. So, I'm just on the normal settings at the moment. But yeah, you can test them on ultimate difficulty if you want. I've got the competitive mode on off, player-based difficulty on off, and everything else is the same. Now, I don't have gameplay with these sliders today, but they will be coming out in the next few days. I have made gameplay for it. I just didn't have time editing it. And obviously, if I put the gameplay with these sliders, it was probably going to be like a half an hour video. So now I can just put the sliders up and put gameplay up later. Now my camera settings, I've got the broadcast camera settings. Make sure you custom the camera settings, so make sure you go custom. And I've got the height at 0, zoom at 0, fast mode focus on 5, ball tracking speed on 0. So like the sliders and the camera settings, make sure once you do put the sliders in, don't flick this like I just did pretty much. And before I get in the sliders, please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I've got my socials in the description. Please give me a follow. Now let's get in the CPU sliders first. So custom the AI behavior. Tackle aggression, I've got this at 40. I think that's pretty much the best tackle aggression so far during this FIFA. Now I've got the build up speed on 15, so lowered that heap. So for 20-minute half realistic sliders, got a lot of things, big difference, big changes from the normal sliders. So build up speed on 15. Yeah, sometimes they're going to go back. When I say sometimes, they're going to go back a lot. Like a normal football game, they're going to go backwards, going to play the passes in the defense, and not create a scoreline that's like 5 or 6 goals, especially in 20-minute halves. You can have that happening, but with these sliders, that you will definitely never get those massive scorelines. I've had a couple 1-1 draws, a 1-0 win, and a 2-1 win. Now let's continue. We've got the shot frequency at 50, first touch pass frequency on 50. Crossing frequency on 60, dribble frequency on 35, so I just lowered that a little bit. And I've actually lowered the skill move frequency. I haven't really touched it at all this year, but I've just lowered it a little bit. But sometimes they'll just come out and do some step overs and then just quickly sprint away. If you got this at 50, if they just do it twice in the game, it could really just create, a couple goals out of nowhere. So just trying to lower that sort of thing to happen. And anyway, let's get into simulation settings. Custom this. Sprint speed on 45, both using CPU. Acceleration on 50 for both using CPU. Shot error on 70 for both using CPU. Now last year I had this on like 90 or something. Same with the marking, I had like it at 90, but the sliders are a little bit better this year. So I don't have to be doing some ridiculous kind of changes. It's actually, they're pretty good. Especially like run frequency, it's not too bad. They just need to slightly improve that just a little bit, and then it'll be pretty good. Got the pass error at 62 for user, and I just increased the pass error for 65 for CPU. You can make a couple changes with these sliders, so you can put this down by 1 or 2, or if you're struggling to just pass it really, you can put this down to 60 for the user. Shot speed on 47 for both user and CPU. Now you're not really going to score too many long shots, especially at 47. So it just means that you won't be scoring pretty much every shot that you take inside the box, but it does limit the long shot goals. That's the only annoying thing that happens this year. The long shots are just not that good. The keeper just able to save, even if they go in the top corner, they're saving it. It's annoying. You got pass speed at 42 for both using CPU. Just lower that, make it slower, so the attacking team doesn't have that much of an advantage. Injury frequency on 50 for using CPU. Yeah, you definitely don't want to put this up any higher than 50. With the increased time, it just means there's more of a chance of having more injuries. You really don't want that happening in a normal career mode. Severity definitely on 30 for both user and CPU. Goalkeeper ability on 51 for user and CPU. Maybe in a few months time you might need to put this up by 1 or 2. At the moment I am happy with it on 51. Marking on 73 for user and marking on 75 for CPU. So let's say down the track there's a couple too many goals, you can just increase this by 1 or 2, and that should really help. But if you're finding this a little bit too difficult, conceding too many goals, just increase this to 75. That's easily done. Now run frequency on 50 for both user and CPU. Obviously I've got this usually on 60 for the normal sliders, but you don't want the runs to be happening too much, because then you're just going to be scoring, well, definitely having more chances, so obviously scoring more goals. So I've kept this at 50 just to stop some goals happening. Line height at 70 for both user and CPU. Line length on 30 for user and CPU. Width on 48 for user and CPU, so really trying to like stop those through balls from coming in, especially between the two centre backs. It's very hard to do. They're literally standing right next to each other. Yeah, you're not going to really find many through balls happening there, but you can get those wingers. Those wingers do have more chances between the fullback and the centre back. Fullback positioning on 70. Again, just lower this by 5 for my normal sliders, just so they're not making too many runs forward. Power bar, it's your preference. You can put this up to 55 if you want. First touch control area is on 65 for both user and CPU. Now I've only tested these sliders on about a dozen games or so. It's about an hour pretty much once you play this game, because 20-minute halves plus the half time plus the little cut scenes and injury time. It's very long sometimes. So I mean, that's like 10 hours or something I've played with these sliders. So normally I test sliders on about 20 or 30 games. Just haven't tested them out that much with these sliders. So once you test these sliders out, just please comment down, what you're thinking about these sliders. Obviously if there's too many goals, I can make a few adjustments. I will be updating these sliders quite regularly, especially for this on this second channel. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys later.